To the Luke, the 10th chapter. And we're going to start at the 25th verse. And I also just want to give honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
To Minister David Willis, to our deacon, Deacon Brother Jeffrey, to all the saints that are here, to those who couldn't make it, those who have the mind to want to be here, those who don't have that mind to pray, that He gives you that mind to want to be here. Still want to take this opportunity for granted. Thank the Lord for my family, thank the Lord for my wife. I'm sorry that she's not here. She's getting close to that pregnancy, getting close to delivery time, so it's kind of hard for her to travel, but y'all just keep us in prayer.
Amen.
She's still going to church. She's going to the church over there in with the Hargroves. With
Amen.
So I ask you to keep them in prayer.
Amen.
Well.
Amen.
So we're going to look at Luke, the 10th chapter. And we're going to start at the 25th verse. We're just going to show a great example of love. It's a very common scripture. And I thank God for Luke. And I believe, I like the gospel of Luke.
Amen.
Because he kind of stands out. And I kind of like outcasts. Like I kind of tend to gear towards outcasts, people who are not like in with the crowd. And I see Luke as an outcast because he was a Gentile rather than the others, Matthew, Mark, and I believe John, and the others that are in the New Testament. They were Jewish or original Jews, whereas Luke was a Gentile. And I believe with his actual gospel, he gears towards the outcast. He talks about, right now we're going to get to the Good Samaritan, but he also talked about the prodigal son and whatnot. And there's other stories and parables in the actual gospel of Luke where he talks about outcasts, people who weren't actually born in that Jewish way. So we're going to start Luke the 10th chapter, the 25th verse. And you can start whenever you're ready. Yes, sir.
And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?
All right, you stop right there. So right now, Jesus is amongst Pharisees. He's amongst a very crowded, like a huge crowd of people. And then this lawyer is standing up. And he's pretty much, like it says, that he tempted Jesus. So he's not really a lawyer of the law, like criminal justice, what we think about now. He's a lawyer of the Old Testament. So he's very knowledgeable of the Old Testament. He knows the commandments like the back of his hand. So right now he's trying Jesus. And as I said before a couple of weeks ago, I love it when Jesus responds in parable as a way to be petty.
That's right.
I kind of like his pettiness. Like I think he can do that because it's Jesus.
That's right.
All right, so you can read on to the 26th verse.
And he said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou?
So he's asking Jesus, what is written in the law? Go ahead.
And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
All right, read it again.
And he answered, saying, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind.
And then the last part says what?
And thy neighbor as thyself.
So love thy neighbor as thyself.
That's right.
Okay. Read on.
And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right.
So he answered right. Go ahead.
This do, and thou shalt live.
All right.
But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is my neighbor? And Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho.
Sorry to cut you off. So now we want to pay attention to what this parable is saying. It's a very common parable, and sometimes we might take it for granted and just like skim through it and actually bypass what the actual message is saying.
That's right.
So it says that Jesus answering said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And I want to stop right there. And I began to research the scripture like verse by verse. And if you look at the map, I don't know if you have that Bible where it has the map in the back. Jericho is actually northeast of Jerusalem. But right now it's saying a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. And the reason why they're saying he went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, even though he's going north, the way Jericho was set up, Jericho was at elevations below Jerusalem. Even though it was located northeast, people had to travel down because it was in the valley of the Dead Sea.
That's right.
So I want y'all to pay attention. So Jericho was below. So a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. Go ahead.
Right. Certain man went down from Jerusalem.
And then what did he run into?
He fell upon thieves,
Right.
which stripped him of his raiment,
And what?
and wounded him.
Uh-huh.
And he departed, leaving him half dead.
So this gentleman went down from Jerusalem to Jericho in a valley, or we can compare it to an alley that we see, a dark alley. So he's going down terrain. The valley is really dark, and he's susceptible to being robbed and beaten, which he was.
That's right.
So he's going down in the valley. He's going down in the trenches, and he's hurt. So, as I said, Jericho is, even though it's northeast of Jerusalem, its elevation is below. So this gentleman is going below. Read on.
It reads, and by chance there came down a certain priest that way. And when he saw him, he passed by on the other side.
So now, the gentleman is lying there. He's left for dead. He's left for dead. Leaving from Jerusalem, so he's probably Jewish as well.
That's right.
He's left for dead. A priest walks by. A priest, or I'm going to compare it to a pastor.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, come on.
He walks by, he sees him on the ground, left for dead. This priest, he has merit
Right.
in the temple of Jerusalem. He has merit. He sees this man, a fellow brother,
Right.
on the ground, left for dead.
Jesus.
That's right.
But he walks by on the other side. He continues to walk on. He continues to walk on. This man traveled and is going through something. He's going down in the valley.
That's right. That's right.
He's hurt. Near death. He hit rock bottom now. He's at rock bottom. Pastor sees him.
Jesus.
Walks right by.
That's right.
Walks right by. The priest holds merit. The priest partakes in sacrifices and offerings in the temple.
That's right.
He's well known. So he's probably abiding by certain rules. Oh, I can't do it. It's probably the Sabbath day.
Right.
I can't really touch him. That's an unholy thing. He's near death.
Right.
He's in the trenches, dying.
That's right.
But he's walking right by him.
Jesus.
Read on.
And likewise,
Mhm.
the Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side.
Now it's a Levite. The first one was a priest. I'm going to call him a pastor. Now a Levite comes, a minister.
That's right.
Come on.
Walks by, sees this guy in the trenches, deep down on it, rock bottom.
That's right.
And what did he do?
He came and looked on him and passed by on the other side.
Jesus.
So the Levite or minister, so I can relate to you guys, he also had certain duties in the church. He also had merit. He was responsible for singing songs. I believe tithes was offered to him as well. So he held merit. He had educational and political responsibilities in the temple.
Amen.
But yet he saw someone in the valley, hitting rock bottom.
Right.
Shows that you nothing as his leader did as well.
Jesus.
They're Jews.
That's right.
You got a fellow brother in the trenches, rock bottom, and you walk right by him. These two are not outcasts. By the way, I want to share that. They're not outcasts.
That's right.
The priest is an elder. The Levite is a minister. They're not outcasts. They're under that fold.
That's
They're
right.
under that body.
Right.
They got a body right there on the floor, on the ground,
Amen.
beaten, near death. And they walk right by him.
Jesus.
The 33rd verse says what?
For a certain Samaritan.
A certain who?
Samaritan.
Samaritan.
As he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
Jesus.
Off jump. A Samaritan has compassion just at the sight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right.
That's
The
right.
sight of this Jew on the ground.
That's right.
This Jew on the ground. But he's not in the fold. He's an outcast. If y'all don't know, Jews and Samaritans, they don't get along. There was a division that actually brought about between the Samaritans and the Jews.
That's right.
And I kind of compare it to nowadays that we got our certain rules and restrictions and regulations that we don't see eye to eye for some weird reason.
Amen.
And they've been going through this for a while. Samaritans and Jews, they did not get along because I looked at Samaritans as a hybrid in a way. They were believed to be descended from a certain, I forgot what the name was. I'm so sorry. But they were hybrid. They were kind of fused in a way, if you could say. But their beliefs, as far as places of worship, were different from that of the Jews, which caused that friction, which caused that conflict, which caused the war between them. So it says, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
That's right.
If you guys go to John, the 4th chapter, you really don't have to. John, the 4th chapter, just so I can further explain the relationship the Jews had with the Samaritans. John, the 4th chapter, the 5th verse, we're going to start at. And I can read it, you can stay where you are. It says, then cometh he to a city of Samaria, and they're talking about Jesus, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being weary with his journey, sat thus on the well. And it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, give me this drink. And this woman from Samaria is looking like, he's talking to me.
Right.
You're a Jew, okay? So Jesus sits on the well. Give me the drink. For his disciples were going away into the city to buy meat. So she was the only one there. So he's like, could you bring me some water? Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria?
That's right.
So right there it proves that the relationship between the Jews and the Samaritans weren't there, but she was astonished.
Right.
That's right.
She was astonished, like, this Jew is really talking to me. It says, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
Right.
Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God,
Come
and who
on.
it is that saith to thee,
Right.
give me to drink.
That's right.
Thou would have been asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
Jesus.
So right there, it just proves that the relationship between the Jews and the Samaritans wasn't there. Go back to the 33rd verse and read again.
For a certain Samaritan,
Yes.
as he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
Okay. Read on.
And whipped to him, and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of
So
him.
stop right there. So the Samaritan inconvenienced his own self to show compassion off jump to this Jewish brother that was dying, this outcast that was dying.
Right.
He took his own oil, his own wine, put it on his wounds.
That's right.
Nah, I'm telling you, I'm getting to the end. I'm getting to the end. He put it on his wounds. Put him in his own, on his own beast. Put him in his own vehicle.
Right.
However you want to say it, relate to it. And brought him to an end. Brought him to his house.
Right.
His house. Yeah. And took care of him.
Right.
Read on.
Thank you, Jesus.
And on the morrow, when he departed, he
Yes.
took out 2 pence.
Stop right there. So on the morrow. So he took care of him. He took him to an end.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't just take him to an end and leave him there.
Right. Come on. That's right.
So he took him. He took him to an end.
Uh-huh.
Said, you all right? You all right? Well, all right. I believe you. I'm gonna wait till you wait here. You all right?
Right.
He waited, and then till tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
He waited until tomorrow. He's come back. That's right.
Yes, sir.
And on the morrow when he departed, he did what?
And the morrow when he departed, he took out 2 pence.
So he took out his money. So he's inconveniencing himself even more. He's inconvenienced. He's going out of his pocket.
That's right. That's right.
He got his wine. He got his oil. Healed up his wound. Put him in his vehicle or his horse. Took him to a hotel.
That's right.
Come on. Uh-huh.
Paid for the hotel. Waited the next day. He's in the hotel.
Come on.
That's right.
He's still there.
Break it down.
Waited till the next day. Paid the money and did what?
And gave them to the host,
And what he said?
and said unto him, Take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I
Bill
will pay
me.
thee.
Right. Come on. Come on. Come on.
He opened the tap.
Right.
And he told the agent behind the desk.
Uh-huh.
He told the
That's
agent
right.
behind the desk. Take care of him. I had him this past night. I'm going to go out. I have something to do later. If he spends more than what I'm giving you now, when I get back,
Come on.
I'm
Come on.
coming back.
Come on.
I'm coming back. I will repay them.
That's right.
Thank you,
The
Jesus.
Samaritan, also an outcast, I'm sorry, we keep saying that.
That's
He's
right.
an outcast. He doesn't know this guy from jump, neither is he in the fold. But yet he has shown compassion. He inconvenienced himself.
That's right.
Took out his bread, paid for it.
Amen. Amen.
He inconvenienced himself. I'm going to admit about myself, and I love to make myself an example. I don't care. I like to find myself in the Word, and if I'm not lining up, I want to line up.
That's right. That's right.
I inconvenience myself on a daily
That's right.
to provide for my own self. It sounds selfish to me,
Right.
but I do it. I do it for my family too, but I do it for myself. I'll splurge every now and then. I will. I'll put insufficient funds in my bank account if I have to. I know it. I would inconvenience myself in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Those shoes, I know I can't afford it right now, but I'll get it anyway. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I'm sorry. But this Samaritan inconvenienced his own self to provide for somebody.
Come on. That's right. That's right.
He had his own set agenda. It wasn't planned for the Samaritan to walk by that valley. But he was going there anyway. It was probably a plan to walk down the valley, but he didn't plan to see that gentleman.
That's right. That's
He
right.
had enough money for himself. Those 2 pence could have been just for him. That oil was probably just for him. Maybe he's going to put it in his hair. Maybe he's going to put it on his feet later. That maybe he was going to get something. We don't
That's
know.
right.
We don't know.
That's right.
But yet he ran into something, immediately showed compassion, and went in his bag, and went in his pocket.